Oh, my mother isn't here now. Sorry. Just kidding. I knew if I said that, I might get in trouble. So there we go. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Ken Krell back again for another amazing session of World Love Week. And I got to tell you, I'm super excited about bringing this lady on because we worked together for the past, feels like 3 years, but it's only been like a month or so. And she is a master at what she does. She's absolutely incredible. She's the owner of Encore Elite Events and Speakers Need to Speak. And Danella Burnett is a creative force. And she is that with a passion for connecting experts to those that they serve through speaking and events while she creates profitable visibility, and she does an amazing job of it. Through her connections, millions of dollars have been generated and tens of thousands of lives impacted through live events. Today, she's going to talk about love language and how to speak your way to wealth and get speaking gigs today. She is, as I said, a force of nature, and the events that we've done, the last event we did, our last World Love Week, well, she was with me for the last World Love Week 6 years ago. The last what was it called? Pride. That's it. Danella said to me, she said, Ken, you look really tired. I'm like, thanks a lot. But that's what happens when you're up and you're doing crazy events like this. When I brought this event to her, she said, you are on crack. What is wrong with you? And that's the kind of person I want to work with. Someone who will tell you out exactly how it is. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend and my producer, not of this event, but of our next Pride again and our future Prides as well, Danella Burnett. Hey, kiddo.
Ken, thank you so much for having me here. And you know, when you shared this event with me 2 weeks ago, I did say you were crazy, but you really are crazy in a good way because your heart and your passion to serve is evident in all that you do. And you know, you're crazy, but if I'm attaching myself to you and I keep going along with the ride, I don't know what that says about me. So
we're
here
getting
we are
past.
in it together. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. You know, and this is Love Week, and I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited to bring some value to this event, um, give some direction to some people who want to share a little bit more love in what I think is the fastest and most profitable way of getting your message out there, and that is through speaking and live events, which I know Ken believes in as well. So I'm honored for the opportunity to share a little bit with the viewers this evening.
You're going to love this. And by the way, when you watch, some of you are watching this live right now, others will be watching it throughout World Love Week. So whether you're day, night, evening, morning, and remember we are 24 hours. So for some of us, like for me, it's 12 noon in the afternoon here in Sydney, and it's super late in the day for those in Europe. So and this is how it even got crazier because I was like, well, we can't screw Europe. We have to make sure they have reasonable time too. So we're running 24/7, about to set a world record, I'm sure, but the longest insanity event nonstop, such as it is. But here's what we'll do. I'm going to let you run with it for a bit. I'll come back and visit with you a little bit later. And I will see if I can't make myself look less exhausted when I return.
No one else would know but me, only because I'm such a good friend that you're a little bit tired tonight, but you have again done an incredible thing here. And you know, for those of you who are here listening, you know, I want to give you a little bit of a backstory, kind of who I am and what I am and why I am so passionate about speaking and live events. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and talk about speaking. And I am a big believer that speakers need to speak and they need to get paid. So why am I passionate about this? Well, let me just tell you a little bit about who and what I am. And, you know, let's start off with what are some of the benefits and challenges of speaking. And if you were here with us live, you know, answer in the chat. If you're watching this in the live broadcast in the group, I do have that up beside me. So feel free to answer in the Facebook group, and I'll either catch it live if we're here in the broadcast, or I will definitely be looking for your answers and you know, let's connect throughout this week. So what are some of the benefits and some of the challenges of speaking? Well, you build authority, you get leads, you can get clients, you make money, get connections. You can leverage your time. Instead of talking with just one person, you're now talking with many. Just before me was one of the greatest speakers in our generation, a prolific speaker, and that's Mr. Les Brown. Now, obviously, speaking on a stage with somebody like Les, that I've had the privilege of doing in the past, that's going to build some authority. You know, when you speak, and whether it's now virtual or in person, you can get leads by offering people your services, inviting them to take your lead magnet or connect with you, text in for more information from you. But you can get leads, people who raise their hands and say they'd like more of the value you bring to the table. You can get clients directly from speaking. You can certainly make money from speaking in a variety of ways. When you're speaking, you're the one with the microphone, you're the one everybody's listening to. There are people who will want to connect with you. You can connect with other speakers, connect with other event hosts, and make amazing connections. And again, leveraging yourself from one to many. But what are some of the challenges to speaking? One, you've got to get good. Now, I have listened to many, many speakers tell me that they are natural speakers. I want to put that myth to bed right here and right now. There are natural talkers. There are people who are naturally more comfortable being in front of others. There are people who are more comfortable in sharing their point of view. But truly gifted, talented speaking, where you're sharing a point of view, where you're moving an audience, where you're creating transformation, where you're leading to a business or you're getting paid to speak, typically requires some coaching and or practice to get good. Become a master of your craft. And if your craft is speaking, then get the coaching, get the support that you need to get good on the stage and all elements of public speaking. Second challenge is finding the right stage. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that as this goes on. Making the right offer. And that could be a free offer that you're making. It could be inviting people into your world. It could be selling from the stage. It could be, if you're a paid speaker, making the right offer to those employees or associates of the person who's paying you to speak, right offer for them to buy into the message that you're sharing with them. And then, of course, following up. When you speak, you typically have to do a lot of follow up. So how do I know some of what I'm sharing with you? Well, my name's Danella Burnett, and I do come from Atlanta, Georgia. It is the evening here. It's 8 p.m. on Valentine's night of Love Week. And wherever you are in the world, I hope that you've enjoyed your Valentine's and you have celebrated some love in your life today. I'm a wife and a mom. There's my husband, Lee, my daughter, Emma, my son, JB. And I am all in for events. I have loved live events and hospitality since the age of 9. And the reason I know that is it was the age of 9 where I fell in love with Julia Child. I had found her on television, and this was not like today where you could find the Food Network and different food shows on, almost 24/7. I found her on television when you had bunny ears on the TV and you actually had to get up out of your seat to change the channel. I found Julia Child, and there was something about her, the lilt in her voice, the passion that she had for hospitality that literally spoke to something deep inside of me. And I have been in the hospitality space since then. Started working with a friend of the family who was a caterer when I was 15 years old. I did go on to culinary school. I have a culinary arts degree and a food service management degree, both from Johnson and Wales. And then I went on to the Washington, D.C. area, managing restaurants, training chefs, being a chef, owning restaurants, having a catering business. And then I moved here to Georgia 19 years ago. And while I had done some event producing in DC, I produced a street long, a block long festival in Washington, D.C. We shut down the streets of D.C. and had our first Oktoberfest for a restaurant and a brewery that I was the general manager or assistant general manager of. We had done personal events. We had done weddings. We had done reunions. We had done corporate events. It was really when I moved here to Atlanta 19 years ago that I really stepped into the role of event producing. Personal events, nonprofit events, galas, corporate, community events. The largest event that I work on every year is with Simon Properties and 4th of July event for 175,000 people. Then about 10 years ago, we really stepped into the space of speakers and experts and enrollment, and I love it. Coaching, I have seen lives be transformed by phenomenal coaches sharing their expertise from the stage, connecting with the people they're meant to serve, and lives changing around the world. So that is the space that we're in, that we love to serve. We produce multiple events every year, from 1 to 3 day events, our own as well as clients. I've had the privilege of authoring several books. We have a new book coming out next month called Visibility with our speakers community. And we'll be featuring that at the event that I'm going to tell you about at the end of this broadcast. Serial entrepreneur, I have every dollar I've generated for the last 13 years has come through our company. And now I'm a speaker strategist and a speak to sell expert, helping speakers be profitable and monetize their opportunities on the stage. So this is the situation. This is the work that I've been in for the last decade. And as you can imagine, I went into 2020 with big hopes and a vision board, that 2020 vision, if you will, and very excited for the possibilities. Just to give you a little bit of an idea of what my life has looked like the last 10 years, these are some of the live events that we've produced. We've been there with speakers, working with the Women of Global Change. You see Sharon Lechter. You also see the very recently late, great Frank Shankowitz of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. On the lower level here, this was actually our own event, our inaugural Speakers Need to Speak event in January in Atlanta last year. The great Monica Shaw. And as we continue to move forward, you'll see Laurel Langmeyer, Bill Walsh, Shelley Hunt, Araya McGarry, R.V. Robinson. This is basically what my life has been like the last 10 years. Suzanne Evans. This was my own stage, the Speakers Need to Speak stage. Mark Usick, phenomenal hypnotist and mental speaking expert. T.R. Garland. This was at a big event that we did in Toronto in 2019. And this is what I'm used to. The speakers speak on the stage, and then there is the rush at the end where your audience has taken your offer. They want to do more with you, and they come to the back of the room where this was my place in the world, and they either sign up to work with you in more detail because they want to go further, they want to go faster, and they want to work with the speakers and the experts that we work with. So we went into 2020 with our arms outstretched and looking forward to an amazing, amazing year of live events. And then, of course, 2020 happened. In March of 2020, the rug got pulled out from underneath of us, as it did with everyone else. But before I talk about kind of that rug getting pulled out from underneath of us, I do want to tell on myself. This next couple of pictures were the pictures that were in my presentation pre-COVID, pre the lockdown of 2020. I actually made fun of virtual events. I made fun of events like we're doing here. I did not think that you could have the same impact in virtual events as you did in person. So everything that I spoke about was in-person speaking, in-person events, stages where you stepped up and you were live in front of the audience that you wanted to share with. Now, you can imagine I've had to change my tune just a little bit, but I want to share with you what I shared before the lockdown. I would share this picture of my son on his first birthday. and remind an audience that you would never take out your phone and text happy birthday to somebody. You know you need to be there. So texting, in my opinion, was not the right fit instead of in person. I would show this and I would talk about email. We would never email an important question like, will you marry me? And for those of you in the audience, had that question come in the form of an email, would you have said yes? Of course not. So I would talk to an audience about how email doesn't get the job done either. You need to be in person. And even better, this is a picture of me swimming with the dolphins in Jamaica, one of our big vacations in 2019. And I would make fun of Zoom. Can you believe that? I made fun of Zoom, that it was just as good as being there, right? Obviously, very sarcastic when I said that prior to March of 2020. And I would point out that, this is a great tool. And here digitally with you, these are great tools for connecting with people, for being efficient. But I did not believe that this could take the place of in person. Boy, have I been proven wrong. Because while I was ready to soar, and March of 2020, I wasn't sure where we were going to go. And my initial thought was, what is going to happen in 2020? I am so grateful to say that as experts, as event producers, event planners, event experts, speakers, and event hosts, we have turned around and created the most incredible events in this virtual space. So these are the companies that we have now. Encore Elite Events is how we help national and international producers such as Ken have amazing and profitable events by supporting them to get their goals accomplished. Here locally in Georgia, we have Oakwood Occasions, which serves events, the community events we do on a local basis. My husband and I also own Linear Tent Rental, tents and events, which was the hardest hit very, very quickly in 2020. The weekend of the 13th through the 16th, we had $121,000 in cancellations in tents and tables and chairs, from the university graduation to golf tournaments, weddings, anything that you could imagine that people had come to us to get tents and events. Everything from March through May was immediately canceled over that weekend. And we have our speakers community that we launched in 2019, where we help our speakers get out on more stages and we provide them leads, resources, and community. So while I felt diversified before March of 2020, I quickly discovered that we were still all in the event space and we took a hard hit. However, I'm pleased to note now in 2021, all of our businesses across the board have actually had our best year ever because we did make the shift to virtual, and because our tents actually were very much needed for COVID treatment and testing. So grateful to say we have moved forward and made the shifts that we needed to, and the shifts that I want to help you make to make sure that you are speaking and using events to grow your business. So this is what it looks like now. It's crazy, but everything that I said, making fun of virtual events, I now live and breathe on a daily basis. I've always believed that where there are great challenges, there are great opportunities. And 2020, I think, showed that to us in a big, big way. So speaking and events are still the answer. So this is what it looks like now. That's my office. I now have multiple computers set up, multiple laptops. Here we actually have me speaking right next to Mr. Brown, who spoke a moment or so earlier today, speaking with Les on a stage here virtually. Another event that we did. Here's what it looks like. Here, doing an event with Brian Tracy. Here we have an event. 2020 and 21 are actually so much better than they were before because there's more speaking opportunities than ever. You have social media live shows. There's been a podcast explosion, and there's even more live opportunities that you can share your message, share your brilliance, share what you want to with the world, and grow your business and have events. So I want to share with you, you know, I often have speakers come to me and they go, how do I find speaking opportunities? So I'm going to share 5 free ways for you to find speaking opportunities here in the virtual space. And so you might want to get a pen. This is a great time to get a pen and a piece of paper. And while you're getting that, I'm just going to peek really quick and see if there's any comments over here on the Facebook page. Great. Hi, Charmaine. Hi, Michelle. Glad to have you here. And Michelle says 2020 wasn't lying about being the year of clarity, and you are absolutely right in that. So while you've gotten your pen and your paper, I'm going to share with you 5 free ways that you can find speaking opportunities. And again, if you have comments, feel free to put them in the chat, and I will check on that periodically because I love to answer questions and make sure that you get the resources and the tools that you need. So the first way for you to find speaking opportunities right here in the virtual space is to take a look at your network. But what I mean by your network is all the areas that you're connected to, and not just professionally. Maybe you are connected to your children's PTA. Maybe you are connected to alumni associations or business associations. Maybe it's your networking groups. Maybe it's your personal, the hobbies that you have. Maybe you're connected to associations or organizations. I would encourage you, and you can even look in your checkbook, like, where do you pay membership dues to? You know, is there a country club? Is there, you know, a local club that you're a part of? Is there a national organization? What is your network that you are connected to, that you are a member of, or that you follow on a regular basis? Write down a list of all of those and then reach out to each one of them. See if there are speaking opportunities in those networks. Maybe you've never thought of speaking at your local chamber of commerce, or you've never thought of speaking to your kids' PTA. Now that there is this virtual opportunity, there are great opportunities to share doing a workshop, maybe for a group that you've never done one for before. Maybe there's speaking opportunities that you've just never taken a look at before. So your network could be filled with great speaking opportunities. So list all of those, reach out and see if there are speaking opportunities in your network. Take a look at your past. Pull out your calendar from 2018, 2019, even 2020. And if you've attended an event or you've spoken at an event, and if you ever kind of looked around at the audience around you, whether they were in front of you or beside you, and you thought to yourself, these are my people. I'd really like to share with this audience. I have something of value that I can give to them. Then you want to reach out and find out, are they doing events now? Do they have an event on their calendar? Can you create an opportunity to speak to them? Can you speak in their social media, in their group? Can you put together a workshop? Do they have a larger event coming up? Do they have podcasts? So take a look at your past in order to fill your calendar for the future. The third is collaborations. Now, what I mean by collaboration and why this is different than network is a collaborator is someone where you share the same audience, but you serve them in a different way. For example, I speak to speakers, authors, experts, event hosts, coaches. I speak on speaking. I speak on producing events. I don't speak on books, for example. So a good collaboration for me could be anyone who's in the book space, like a publisher or a ghostwriter or a coach on books, or somebody who helps market books. Anyone on the book side of the business, that's a great collaboration where maybe we could do something together, or I can invite them to speak to my audience of speakers, authors, experts, event hosts. And if I offer for them to speak to my people, they're likely to offer for me to speak to theirs. So those collaborations where you share the same audience, but you serve them in a different way is a great opportunity for collaboration. That one tip alone could easily keep your calendar filled for the foreseeable future. Look at all of those people that, other coaches that either have events, you can do swaps on social media, you can do swaps on stages, but you collaborate in ways that you work together to even better serve the audience that you share. The fourth way is social media. Now, social media can sometimes be a little bit of a rabbit trail. So I do encourage you to be really purposeful in the way that you use social media to find speaking opportunities. One, you can post on your social media. Make sure every once in a while on your LinkedIn profile or your Facebook profile, in the about section, it should say that you're a speaker and what kind of speaking opportunities you're looking for. So when people go research you on social media, they see that. You can also post your speaker one sheet every once in a while on your social media postings so that people see what your talk titles are, what you want to speak about, what value do you bring to a stage. You can also use social media to look at their calendars to see what events are coming up. You can, and you want to be in the social media where your audience is. So whether your audience is on Instagram or Pinterest, LinkedIn, Facebook, or now Clubhouse, that's where you want to be. And I'll touch on Clubhouse briefly. It's become all the rage in the last month or two, to be on Clubhouse. You literally can create your own stage on Clubhouse at any time by opening a room. Open a room with a great topic, a great title that's going to share what your topic is about. You might even have invited some other people to moderate that room that speak on the same topic, and you literally have created your own stage. You can do the same thing with Facebook Lives or LinkedIn Lives. I now host 2 Clubhouse rooms every week. One on Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern called Podcasts and Events, Grow Your Audience, Authority, and Profits. And one on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern called Speakers Need to Speak. It's the name of my speakers community, so I'm getting that word out there. But then we pick a topic that's relevant for speakers, and we invite seasoned and starter speakers to share their point of view, get feedback, get tips, and I frequently invite other event producers and other event experts to give valuable feedback to speakers. So I've created those 2 stages weekly by creating a Clubhouse room that's interesting to the audience that I want to serve. So social media can be a great way to find or create your own speaking opportunities. And I do also, I mentioned before, but can be a little bit of a rabbit hole and take up a bunch of time. So you do want to be very purposeful in what you do with social media and speaking opportunities. I'm going to look really quick and just refresh before we go to number 5, see if we have any questions for those first few requests on the Facebook page. Great, not just yet. If you do have questions, feel free to go ahead and put them on the Facebook group right underneath this broadcast. So number 5 is research on Google. Now this too can be kind of an opening for rabbit trails. So you want to be really purposeful in the way you do research on social media. I like to remind everyone that speakers need to speak, but they also need to get paid. So I like to use the acronym SAIL. So if you'll write down on your notes, number 5, the acronym SAIL, I'm going to tell you what those 5 things are for me to do a great keyword search to find speaking opportunities using Google. So I think speakers need to speak, but they also need to get paid. So the first S stands for speaking opportunities. And you want to use some variation of speaking opportunities, or speaker as your first keyword when you do a Google search. I have 2 words for audience because I believe using 2 descriptors of your perfect audience is just going to get you a more targeted search and better results that you can then follow up with to find speaking opportunities. Whoops. By now, if you are a speaker, you should have a laundry list of words that describe your perfect audience. If you don't, this is a great opportunity to do that. You want to use adjectives and nouns that describe your perfect audience. So in my case, it's men, it's women, it's professionals, it's speakers, it's experts, it's coaches. You want to have a list like that as well. And when you're using this Google method, you want to use 2 words. So if you want to speak to millennial professionals, or you want to speak to male dentists, or you want to speak to women corporate executives, using 2 different descriptors of your perfect audience each time you do a search is just going to get you a better result in that first page or 2 of results. And then the next time you do a search, you can switch up those words. The fourth is location. Now, right now, everything's virtual. You might say, why do I need to put in a location? Well, the location can still be important for 2 reasons. One, your product or services or programs might serve a local audience. So the location might be important to you because you want to be speaking more so to a local audience. Maybe you want to expand nationally. Maybe you want to expand into another state. Maybe you want to start speaking internationally in this virtual world. I have found that event hosts still have the greatest amount of influence in the area that they are in. So the location, even though the event may be virtual, the audience is still likely to be more centered around the location of the event host. So if the location matters to you because you either want to grow into a new area or you want to stay in a smaller geography, the location is important. And of course, as we move on this year and we move, into hybrid and we move back into in-person events, that location can still be very critical. So you do want to have a location in there, and it might be your city, your county, your state, the country. It might be international. So that location will again help you just get better search results. And number 5 is the event type. Maybe you want to speak to smaller groups and you like a more intimate or workshop style presentation. In that case, you would want to use words like meetup or workshop or networking group. Maybe I said meetup. Maybe you want to speak to larger audiences. And if that's the case, you want to use words like expo or conference, live event. So the event type, using that terminology, will also help identify the kind of event that you're going to speak at and what's going to come up first in that search. Now, this can be a very time-consuming task. This could be something that you could delegate to a VA. This could be something that you use a service like ours to do for you. This is a big reason why we launched Speakers Need to Speak, was because we discovered a lot of speakers don't take the time to do some of these things that I've just shared with you. These are all free ways to find speaking opportunities, but they are things that will require time, either your time for somebody on your team, or time that you outsource to someone else. And you may have noticed that virtual is at the speed of fast. And so whether you're using these free techniques or you're getting some support and getting out on speaking gigs, you want to work quickly you want to work systematically, and you want to work consistently, because that's what will keep your calendar filled. One of the reasons that we launched Speakers Need to Speak was, we were constantly putting speakers into our own events or into our clients' events, and we would have speakers coming back to us and saying, "That was great. Can you find me another opportunity?" And we paused for a long time because I didn't know about putting speakers into other opportunities. But when enough people ask you the same question, how many people, and you can, let me know in the chat, how many of you have created something because your clients basically told you that was what they wanted from you? Well, that was exactly what happened in our case. We had enough clients who were telling us that they wanted help, that they were having difficulty getting speaking opportunities. And so we got to work on how can we help our speakers, because there's plenty of speaking opportunities out there. Pre-COVID, there were 7,000 speaking opportunities every single day in the United States. And now in this virtual world, there are anywhere 3 to 5 times that amount every single day. So it's not a lack of speaking opportunities. It is challenging, though, to find the right speaking opportunities for you that are going to get you the results that you're looking for, whether you're looking for more authority, or you're looking for more leads, you're looking for more clients, or you're looking to get paid to speak. It can be a challenge to find those right opportunities quickly, and you've got to be doing it consistently. Because the other challenge that we saw speakers having prior was if they had a few gigs on their calendar, they stopped doing some of this work. But when those gigs are completed and you're looking ahead at a calendar that doesn't have the speaking opportunities you want, we would see speakers get busy with some of these tasks. Well, that kind of roller coaster activity doesn't really help you grow your business. Consistency and having a system for finding speaking opportunities, reaching out to them, and securing those opportunities is really the way to grow your business. And that's why we created Speakers Need to Speak, in order to bring leads, resources, and community to speakers to support them in that system and that consistency, and to get out on more stages around the world, whether they're virtual or in person. So again, I'll just reiterate or let you guys, if you didn't take notes before, these are all the benefits of speaking and the challenges. And we wanted to solve some of those challenges for our clients. So we created Speakers Need to Speak. And the first thing that we offer every single month to our speakers is 100 hot speaking leads. And these leads are actually curated every single month by my team, doing that kind of research that a lot of speakers don't have time for. They curate these, meaning they find them and they speak to somebody to make sure that is a valid speaking opportunity. They are looking for speakers. It is open for the right speakers to apply for those opportunities. So we found that speakers needed to know they were going to have speaking leads every single month, and we provide that. The second thing that we provide all of our speakers from the beginning is our Crush It from the Stage checklist. This is, whether it's a virtual stage or an in-person stage, this is all of the things that you want to have completed. Your speaker one sheet, all of the things you want to do to mentally and physically prepare to take the stage, all of the things that you want to have in place after the stage. This is that checklist that, regardless of your speaking opportunity, you can pull this checklist out and make sure that you are ready, you are prepared, you are positioned, and you are ready to be profitable from the stage. We also know that speakers need community and they need ongoing resources. Speaking is not one and done. It is a journey. So in our Speakers Need to Speak community, we also have 3 monthly times where you can plug in and get the 10-minute topic is me as the expert, letting you know what's going on in the industry. We also bring in experts from outside our community to share with you more ways to get good, get paid, get clear, get gigs, and get events. And we have a networking event every month because our community needs to be connecting to each other, because when one speaker gets opportunities, often it's a great opportunity for another speaker. And we see our speakers doing business with each other because they are authorities in such diverse topics. We also have a podcasters looking for guests directory. Podcasts didn't used to be looked at in the same vein as a stage that you stepped up on, but we now really look at all of these speaking opportunities, as visibility events. So podcasting is an important part of speakers getting their message out, finding clients, and getting heard. So we have a podcasters looking for guest directory with over 700 podcasters that you're going to get access to on day one of joining our community. We also have upcoming events, and I want to definitely share with you, and I'll put the link in the chat. We have an event coming up on March 4th through the 6th. It's our next Speakers Need to Speak visibility event, because we know you want to connect with other speakers and you want to get all of the resources and tools that you need to be a better speaker. So over this 3 days, I'm going to have experts in, and we're going to go all through the speaker's journey as it is here in 2021 to support you. But an exciting thing is we also have a speakers competition. Throughout this competition, every attendee is encouraged to apply to speak. And throughout the weekend, we will have all of our speakers giving their point of view, getting feedback from professional event producers, event hosts. Ken will be one of our judges as well, as some other experts that I'm bringing in. That prize package is over $10,000 in speaking opportunities, cash, prizes, programs, and services that you as speakers need. And if you join Speakers Need to Speak, you're going to get automatic upgrades to VIP, and you're going to get invited to our Speakers Need to Speak visibility event. In addition to events that we do throughout the year, last year we had 4 separate events for our members. Frequently, our members are invited for free, or they will get upgrades like we're doing for the Speakers Need to Speak visibility event. We just had a workshop a couple of weeks ago where I had experts like Jim Britt, Blue Melnick, Suzanne Evans, the actress Kim Coles, and several others that came in just to speak to our community. And it was free of charge for our members to attend, because I know you not only need my expertise, but in order to continue to grow in your speaker's journey, you need access to the top of the top industry experts around the world. And we bring you that. You're also going to get a weekly orientation and training on using the speaker leads. So every week we have an office hour that you can pop in. It is complimentary to all of our members. So you are never more than a few days away from being able to get your important questions answered. So if you are having a challenge with a speaker's application, if you've created a new one sheet and you want some feedback, if you want to go over a new story that's in your talk and you want to get some feedback from me and from other members of the community, if you want some support around answering a question on a speaker application, whatever it is, you're never more than a few days away from being able to get that immediate help that you need by just plugging in to the open office hour that we have every week so that we can support you. Our philosophy is, as a speaker, you need to get clear, you need to get good, you need to get paid, you need to get gigs, and you need to get events. And this is a journey that you're going to be on for as long as you're a speaker. I want to talk a moment about hosting your own events, because many of our speakers do become event hosts. Some of the benefits of being your own host, which is leveraging your own platform, is you get huge authority. You can grow your community. You can sell high ticket items. You can fill your other programs, create amazing partnerships. You can leverage one to many. There are challenges with hosting an event. It could be expensive. You have to fill the room. You have to know how to market the room. It takes time and it takes team. Well, how would you like to know how you can do that quickly? Well, we're going to be hosting a one-day workshop called the Live Event Navigator. If you join our community, the Speakers Need to Speak community, you will get an invitation to our one-day workshop. And in that one-day workshop, you're going to learn about planning, the strategies, the process for launching an event, understanding the energies of events, how to budget. This is a great overview. Now, this is not going to turn you into an event producer. What it is going to do is make you an educated event host so that you can move forward with your own event without losing your shirt or losing your sanity. Well, we're going to be doing, and I'm going to skip over this. I wasn't sure I was going to show this presentation, so I didn't update this. We will be scheduling a new one of these in April. So by joining our community, you'll obviously get our new date, and we're going to offer you a ticket to that workshop as a gift when it's planned in April. So if you're ready to get on more platforms, to have the right event experience, and possibly make money with live events, I would ask you to join me in this virtual world. The fastest path to making money with events, speaking and hosting, and join us in Speakers Need to Speak. I've already shared with you a little bit about what our Speakers Need to Speak program includes, and it is easily valued at over $4,000. But because you are here with the World Love Week, if you go to our website right now, you'll see that Speakers Need to Speak is $9.97 per year. And we also offer it as a $99 a month. But because you're part of World Love Week, I'm going to put a link in the chat, and you're going to be able to get this for $797 for the year, $200 off our annual pricing. So instead of $9.97 per year, it'll just be $7.97. You're going to get a full year. I'm going to go through these next that are a different link. Sharing with some of our success stories of our clients. These are some of the things that we've helped them do in the last year in this virtual space. You can see booking events, hosting their own events, speaking at other events, and generating large sums of money, getting great new clients. And there, just last month, we booked our speakers into 105 speaking opportunities alone. So again, these are the benefits to Speakers Need to Speak. We're also going to give you a ticket to that Live Event Navigator, and we are going to gift you a ticket to the upcoming Live Event Navigator and our upcoming Speakers Need to Speak event. So that's been a lot of information I've given you in the last 49 minutes. I'm going to look really close and see if we have, thank you, DK. He tells me that our last workshop was awesome. He was there with us with those experts. And I'm going to see if there's any other comments here. And I see Ken has just joined us again.
I never left you. I was just off,
listening.
I was just off camera. No, you have an amazing community, and a number of our speakers actually during World Love Week have come from Speakers Need to Speak as well, and they're wonderful people. I know DK is one of your members, and he's one of my favorite people too. He's actually been featured at some of my events. So you do have a great community, and if this resonates for you, then you should go ahead and grab the link to go ahead and do. Did you give everybody the link yet, Danella?
I'm actually putting it in the chat in the Facebook group right now.
Okay, awesome. And what we'll do also, it will be on the dashboard on the page that you've got, and I think Charmaine's getting that in place for you now as well. So you guys, you guys will be able to have that also. I recommend it. No one goes on my platform, just so you guys know. No, and when I say guys, that's a technical term, that's generic for human, just so that no one feels offended by that. In any event, I don't put anybody on my stage that I don't recommend, that I don't feel comfortable with. And if I don't have personal experience with them, then it's a very strong referral. So that because again, your name is your bond in this business, and you truly need to stand behind what you do. So it's really important. Just as Danella recommended this event to her speakers, I recommend, and not as a tit for tat, but because truly we want to hang out with the right people. Think about the communities that you want to hang out in. We talk about World Love Week and the idea that love really is a great way of doing business. Well, taking care of the people that you work with is important. When I approached Danella about actually doing some joint ventures together, because her community is a perfect community to be trained on what I teach during our Pride events, which is how to produce ridiculously irresistible digital events, which frankly Danella does a lot of for me, because as you know, doctor should not heal thyself. Lawyer should not lawyer for thyself. So those that are professionals in this business will bring on people to do the legwork so that they don't have to focus on mechanics, they can focus on delivery. Very important distinction there. My attitude about a presentation and about an event is that if I'm going to deliver the content, which is what I teach you to do, you need someone that can be there to make sure that the actual mechanics of the event run super smoothly, so you can focus on your audience rather than, gee, where's that video? Where's that audio? Oh my gosh, the chat's going down, or the website crashed, or whatever the heck it could be, or wait, the speaker didn't show up, which has happened before. So I got to tell you that to have what I consider a partner to work with you on that is golden. And so I have that in this a beautiful woman that you're looking at right now, who has really been there. Yeah. And I can tell you that when you choose a training partner, education partner, a business partner, if you will, and it doesn't mean an equity partner per se, it means someone that you do something together with to reach a common goal. Having that person of like mind is critically important. And we can continue to have the accolades for each person type of thing, but we talk so much about right fit audience, and the term audience is another technical term. Having the right fit people to work with, the right team, for example. So right now, while we're here in the front of the camera, Charmaine, who's on my team, is taking care of some of the back end stuff, and she's doing it with a headache. So everyone sent healing energy to Charmaine because she's been putting in a lot of extra hours, and she makes things happen. That could not happen without, again, the right fit. So whoever you work with, have that right fit go on, and choose your communities wisely, because the right community will raise you up. The right community will support you through your journey. I can tell you that our Safari community, for example, which is my high-end coaching program, when they heard about Zor's interest in helping people in his home country of South Sudan, help him bring solar to them, they were like, how can we help? How can we help? Which is how this event took place. Having that community of cheerleaders to cheer you on the same way is so important. And just knowing the heart that you're looking at right now in front of you, the community that she attracts, you're kind of crazy not to be part of it. If you're feeling in your body right now the resonance of, she's pretty cool, I want to hang out with her, then you want to just go ahead and click that link and make it happen. That's just my take on it. And I could go on for hours about you, but I can tell you what else. So if you take a look at the ROI of what you do, of training and development, and you can just shut me up whenever you want. This is really your time, Danella, but you got me going, girl. You got me going. If you take a look at the ROI of that, one idea, one speaking gig, one moment of time can change everything. And I got to tell you, your events don't need to make you a lot of money up front, but the connections that they bring to you can make you lots of money over and over and over again. And that is a huge case in point. When we ran, and some of you are seeing, when we finish the segment with Danella, we will be showing more replays, some great replays of our Opportunity Thon event, which we had last year. Well, that event, while it didn't make a fortune, it provided a valuable service and kickstarted an entire new career for me worth millions of dollars, literally millions of dollars. And more than that, refreshed relationships with people such as Les Brown, who's coming on with us live during this week at what is this week? World Love Week. Yeah, there we go. You know, and by the way, being real with your audience is so important. So having that connection with so many other speakers and so on, and being part of that community really makes a humongous difference. And even if it's just nothing more than making a great friend, what's that worth to you?
Well, sharing your brilliance, I know that I spoke a lot about business here, but honestly, sharing what's on your heart and you have a passion about and the way that you serve the world is sharing love. I mean, it's a perfect tie into this week. I have long since believed that it is the speakers and the experts and the intuitives and those that are getting their messages out there are what's going to fix that broken world. Yep. So if you have a message inside of you, get good on a stage. Have somebody like me support you getting out there and helping people. Helping people is the greatest expression of love, in my opinion. And you need to have support to do that, because speaking in events is not a solo sport by any stretch of the imagination. And Ken touched on that. When Ken produced his event, now he's been a professional event host and event producer for many, many years. But when he did his event, he hired me to support him in the back of the room. My events, we bring on support. I mean, you've got to have the right support around you. You're not meant to do this alone. And this week, tying in, find the support in this group. Everyone who's connected here through World Love Week, these are the people that want people to succeed. So find collaborative partners here. Find creative people in relationships and partnerships. Like Ken said, it's not necessarily that legalistic partnership in business, but find those people you can collaborate with and partner with that are good at the things you're not. And so you could do the things that you are, and together you go further and you go faster and you help more people. So I'm just grateful to be a part of this week and share a little bit of my knowledge with everyone here. And I look forward to connecting.
I by the way, I'm so totally grateful for your being here and sharing your time, sharing your love, and in the planning stage of this, sharing your time and your wisdom. Even if it was encouraging me to go down this rabbit hole of insanity this week, having that cheerleader that's with you is really, really important. And I got to tell you, if you're going to take speaking on as a journey, and I recommend that you do, because I'll give you something else to think about. We've had some people on the platform over this course of just the beginning of World Love Week that have talked about their adversity, that have talked about the challenges that they've had, whether it's been suicide or divorce or death or you name it. Trust me, there's enough theoretically bad stuff out there, right? But when you're on a stage and you're using that as a tool to help others, your dark days seem to melt away because you're out there giving to other people. And that's a fantastic means of therapy. So I just want to acknowledge you for watching, you for being here with us, Donella. And I want to encourage you guys as we land this plane, because I think who's coming up next, Roland Fraser is coming up next. And it's a fantastic interview that I did with him and he'll reveal how in 5 days he created nearly $750,000 and then went on after this interview was completed, after he went on doing millions after that with just a 5-day program that just called on his expertise. Nothing more. He knew all the stuff he was delivering. So it's pretty amazing. So Donella Burnett, you are a gem. I love you to pieces. I encourage all of you to join her, and you can catch her. You'll see her on the dashboard. She put some links in the chat. Grab her as best you possibly can from a distance and become part of her community. I love you.
Love you too. Look forward to seeing you all at our event in a couple of weeks. And if membership is right for you, love to invite you into our community. And if you're not sure, just come to the event and meet some of our community. And I cannot wait to support you. And Ken, I love you as always.
Thanks, Donella. See you. Bye, everybody. Here comes